Hey, good morning, folks. Adrian Lepp with the Bitcoin Funding Team. Welcome, and this is your first video on how to get started in the exciting business. And so I'm going to show you the first step is you have to purchase some Bitcoins. There's various ways to do that, but what we recommend to keep it simple is there's a website that's been around for a long time. They have millions of users. It's called Coinbase. It's just coinbase.com. So head over to coinbase.com, and if you already have one, that's great. If not, I'm going to show you how to sign up for one. It's pretty self-explanatory, but there's a few steps you want to make sure you cover. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign up a test account. So click the sign up button in the upper right-hand corner and put your name in here. I'm going to use Adrian Test since I've already got one. And admin at digital crowdfunding. Let me get this right. So I just created this test account. Now, this is key. You know, we're dealing with cryptocurrency. These are worth a lot of money. I mean, look at right here. Today, as I'm making this, Bitcoins are worth $1,123 a piece. So if you're having Bitcoins in your Coinbase account, you don't want to use a password that somebody can guess. So I highly recommend you don't use the same password you use on your emails or your basic websites. I'd pick something specifically for this operation that's pretty darn secure. And you're going to want to write it down to remember it, but it's going to warn you if your password isn't strong enough. So let me go ahead and put one in here. So you see that one is too weak. So I got to do something to make it a little stronger. So there we go. That's a good one. So people are missing this. By default, it picks the Armed Forces of America. Make sure you drop this down and you pick the correct state. It has no benefits to what we're doing, but you should use that. And then click that I'm not a robot. And then hit this button right here. It says you agree. If you want to, you can click the user agreement and the private policy. But again, these guys have many millions of accounts. If they had issues, somebody would have already brought it up. So there you go. Name, email, password, state, and then go ahead and hit create your account. Now this next step's important. It's going to tell you that we sent a verification email. Now you must go over there and verify this or you're going to get hung up. Some people have missed this step right here. So I'm going to head over. I already have my email open for this demonstration. And what's going to happen is I'm going to receive a test email. Here you go. Please verify your email address. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down in here and I'm going to verify my email address. And now it opens up a new window for Coinbase. So now I have two. I have the original one that we signed up on, and we have the new one that opened up. So close the original one and work with the new one because you've been verified. So here we are now. We're in my new test account. By default, you're going to pick individual. Go ahead and click next. Now, it wants to link to a telephone number. So go ahead and put a phone number in there to verify. You want to do this because that way it will text you if somebody logs into your account just to make you aware of it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now it's going to send me text verification. So I've got to open up my phone here, and I have to go in and I have to pull this verification out so I can type it in and verify that I do have this phone number and that this is the one that is actually mine. So let me type this in. I just received a message from them. Type that in. I hit verify phone number. So now my phone number has been attached to that. Now, this is important. On this step here, you can use a bank account if you want. As you can see, it will take 4 to 5 days to verify it, but it does give you higher limits. But what most of us do and what I recommend you do is just add a debit or credit card in here. You have an instant buy. You have lower limits, but it doesn't matter. You're only starting out initially with about $100 worth of Bitcoin, so you should be fine. So just click on this. I'm not going to do this step because I already have an account with them, but it's obvious. Put the correct name that's on your card, all this information. Make sure this is all correct. Then you hit next, and then just follow through with those steps. So I'm going to skip by that, and I'll do that later. But it's going to then take you to this screen right here. So once you have that in position, this is what your screen looks like. Now, one of the things you can do once you add a payment you'll see that you can click a drop down and PayPal is one of the options, but it only becomes an option once you add a credit card or debit card. So now what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to click buy and sell Bitcoins. So I'm going to pause the screen now and I'm going to sign into my actual account so I can show you how this works. So I will be back in a jiffy. All right, folks, I'm back and I'm now logged into my actual Coinbase account. You can see I'm logged in. Value of the Bitcoins right now is 1121. And so now this is where, after you signed up like I just showed you, this is where you go to buy and sell. So you're going to come in here and you're going to click buy. And you're going to buy Bitcoins. And you can see I have a Visa card associated with mine. But what's interesting, if you click add new here, you'll see that I also have my PayPal account associated with it. And so just set this up however you want to make sure that your funding is correct. And then you're always going to get a weekly limit right here. You see mine's $300 a weekly limit. That's fine. I mean, once you make your initial purchase of 0.1 Bitcoins, you really don't need much more than that. But if you need to increase your limits, you can click on this button right here that says increase limits. And it's going to tell you what to do. You see, I verified my identity. Basically, I took a picture of my driver's license and sent it to them. So just go through this if you have any questions. Get it set up. But if you have a limit of $300 like I have right here, you should be fine. So I want to buy some Bitcoin. So I make sure the Bitcoin, this is my funding source. And I go down here. And this is very important, folks. Pay attention to this. So the cost of your first donation in the Bitcoin program that we put together, the crowdfunding, is 0.1. If you remember from my videos, if you watch that. You have to get a little bit more than that because there are some slight admin fees that the Bitcoin transactions charge. So if I was to just type 0.1 in here, you actually want to do it under the Bitcoin. I was doing that under the US dollar. You want to do it over here where it says Bitcoin. BTC is Bitcoin. So if I did 0.1 on the Bitcoin, you see that it's $112 at today's prices. But you need a little bit more than that. And so I would recommend you do something like maybe 0.105 or something. Give yourself a little bit of cushion. Again, you're not going to lose this money. You'll end up using it later on, or you can buy something else with it. And so there you go. So I click that. Then I say buy Bitcoins instantly. So I'm going to click on this. Confirm your transaction. Now, I don't want to repeat this buy. So if you check this box, it will automatically buy for you every day. We don't need to do that. So make sure that box is not checked. Confirm the purchase. And it says view. Now watch how fast this appears in here. You see it's instant. Boom. I now have 195. I now have about almost 0.2 Bitcoins in there. And you can see that the purchase went right through.